Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy to have you back. So let's get into today's topic. I am doing dinner etiquette ideas, how to portray elegance on date night or just an outing or event. This is something that I struggled with for the longest time, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, because I did not grow up going out a lot, especially not to fine dining. We had a large family for the most part of my childhood, and yeah, so it just wasn't something that I was used to. I was aware of like the tidbits that you learn really young, which is like, you know, the simple things, but I didn't know kind of the fine dining level up elegant tips that one learns when you are exposed to that type of environment. And a part of this channel is helping each other learn those facets, learn those different things, different experiences, so that we can be better prepared when we encounter them. So I do have in my hand my iPad and some notes that I'll be referring to throughout the video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these tips. Alrighty, so the first one I have, it's really important, is to chew with your mouth closed. Chew slowly and thoroughly. And this is important because, first of all, nobody wants to see your food mashed up in your mouth. It's not a good look. If you're a woman practicing elegance, think of how you would feel seeing your date's food in their mouth while they're chewing. You wouldn't be too enthralled, you wouldn't be too thrilled to see that. So please be mindful of when you're chewing, chew slowly, thoroughly. Before you say, oh God, this woman knows everything, I kid you not, I'm still having to practice this to this day. I'm a foodie. I love food. I like to eat, and embarrassingly enough, I have been told before, or at least it's come to my attention, that I eat a little quickly sometimes. And so yeah, you don't want to be like that. You want to eat slow, savor every bite, and you don't want to come across as like you're really hungry and this is your first meal in like a week. That's also not a good look. It's embarrassing. If you can, it's your first date or like your first encounter with this party, try not to clear your plate, because that's also not a good look, believe it or not. Keep your phones away. Put the phones away, because hello, we live in a digital age, and this digital age that we are in means that a lot of us, myself included, throughout the day, like 7, 8 minimum a day, we're like this, looking at screens. And that's our new normal, so there's no arguing about that. There's no trying to change that. It is what it is, right? However, when you are in a setting, hold on. When you're in a setting that is requiring you to give your undivided attention to somebody, please put them away. Even if you have business on your phone and you have to be on call, have it face down, so at the very least, if it lights up, it won't be a huge distraction to the other party in front of you or whatever you have going on. At the very least, you can showcase respect to the other person. So that one is kind of known, but just keep your phones away, put them away until the dinner is complete. 3, I love this one, but this is be cordial and kind to the waitstaff. Now, there are a lot of people I know that will say, well, I'm always nice, I'm always kind, you know, to the server. But having been a server myself in that industry at some point, I know firsthand that not every, I was gonna say client, not every, what's the word, customer? Not every customer that you get is going to show you kindness, and that's unfortunate. But if you can help alleviate some of that by being as conscientious and caring as you can to the wait staff, imagine how thankful they are about that, and imagine how gracious they will be to you. Like, if you need to change an order, or you don't like something, or you just have questions, they'll be a lot more apt, trust me, to help you if you are kind and, you know, just kind of like, hey, what do you recommend? Or, I've never tried this dish before. Do you think that this would be a good option for me? I have this allergy. Can we keep this on the side, please? Please let me know if this is an option. If not, I can order something else. And you don't have to be that sweet and that kind. You don't even know, you know, these people, so you don't have to like just start being like, oh yeah, yeah, anything you say, because at the end of the day, you or your date is paying for this meal and this experience, and you want it to be, especially if it's fine dining, top notch. And you don't want to come across as you're catering to the wait staff, because that's also kind of a turn off, because then it's like you're not getting the full experience of being served, which is the point of going out in the first place. But I just wanted to include cordialness, kindness, just a little bit. Okay, don't go, like I said, yes, anything you want. I'll just take water. Yeah, I'll just take the special. Like, actually genuinely voice your concerns if you have any, but in a cordial, kind way. That is very key. Shows class and elegance. I'm laughing because embarrassingly enough, I'll just tell you guys the story really quickly. So number 4 is to place your napkin in your lap. And I know if you're not used to fine dining, or you've never been to a restaurant where it's like actual like napkins, like they look like little tiny cotton towels, not cotton, like polyester towels, they kind of look like towels. Please take the napkin, fold it if you really want to look like extra fancy, like kind of fold it in like a triangle shape. I wish I had one to show you guys. And put it over your lap. I'll just say that when I first had my experience out at a fancy place that had, it wasn't even really that fancy, one of those things, I had no idea what to do with it. And I just remember feeling so out of touch and slightly embarrassed, because I thought to myself, wow, they're gonna know that I am, you know, not used to like this type of stuff. It didn't really matter in the grand scheme, but it definitely could have saved me some embarrassment had I known the proper etiquette to use in that situation. So yeah, place your napkin in your lap and don't put it back on the table until you're completely done with your meal. And this is because once you put it back on the table, it shows that the meal is complete, you're done, you guys are ready for the check. It's kind of a way to signal to the waiter too, like, okay, you guys ready for the check, blah, blah, blah. And also, it just looks better to not have that sitting, like, could you imagine you going to the restroom and having a ball just balled up next to your food of cloth just sitting there? Like, no, keep it in your chair until the dinner or lunch is complete. Okay, so I did write this one down, but I don't know if everyone would want to use this, but I find it valuable. Excuse me, I had a smoothie earlier. There's a cicada outside of my window. Give me 1 second. The lighting kind of changed a little bit, but it's fine. Never mind. Let me just close the window. So yeah, so the next thing that I have is American style of eating for silverware. You want to have the knife in the right hand, fork in your left hand, you know, a little like steak action with the knife, and pick up with the fork. And also avoid dipping your head down to get food. Try to bring the food up to your mouth. So like, for example, pretend that this is the fork. Pretend this is the fork and the food is like here. I'm gonna bring it up to my mouth. I know this looks silly and funky, but it looks so much better than you just going and like stuffing food in your mouth like that. So yeah, knife on the right hand, fork in the left, and then like bring the food to your mouth. Don't go shoveling food in your mouth. Just don't, trust me. And also you want to have your wine on the right with the water. When picking up the wine, hold it by the stem, please. Please, lovely, please. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Please stop holding the wine glass by the cup. Please. I know if you're not used to ordering wine or champagne or what have you, the stem might feel a little awkward at first, but the more you order it, the more normal it feels. By the stem, remember, to the mouth. Don't go dipping, like try to avoid hunching over to drink your or eat your food, either or. So this brings me to my next one. My next point is good posture. You want to have good posture. That immediately made me fix my posture. I'm gonna tell you right now, as soon as I read that, I was like, yep, that is key. That is so true. Good posture means everything, and no slouching. Roll your shoulders back, okay? Straighten your back. I've arrived. That's what good posture says. It also says that, yes, I'm happy to be here. I am excited for the event. Let's get into it. Now let me show you what it could look like if you didn't do that. Do you see just how terrible that looks, and how it, not even how it looks, how do you feel when you're slouching over like that? You feel small, right? You look bigger. First of all, ladies, we don't want to be looking bigger, okay? After eating a meal, even though it's inevitable, we're human. But shoulders back at all times. Even if you have to keep reminding yourself, keep doing it until it feels natural and normal. And for me, like I read somewhere, I remember seeing it in a video, if you keep your back like, if you don't have your back completely flush to the back of the chair, that'll help you maintain posture, because you're gonna have to sit up straight because you have nothing to slouch back on. That's how to hold yourself accountable. Just don't lean back. Even if you feel like you want to, just don't. It'll help you, I promise. Okay, I love this next one. It says stay engaged. The lighting just changed. I'm so sorry. Stay engaged, but do not like overly dominate the conversation to the point where you're the one talking majority of the time. The other ladies or your date or your family members or colleagues aren't getting a chance to even really speak because you're leading the conversation. As a woman, this doesn't showcase that you have that much class, because it's very distasteful to carry the conversation and not let others also speak. It's not a good look. So for example, if I'm sitting here being the main talker, which would never happen, by the way, I don't usually lead conversations. I like to add and to observe and listen. You can learn more and also contribute more valuable bits to the conversation versus extraneous, unnecessary words. So for example, let's just pretend in an alternate universe that I am leading the conversation. So I'm just like, yeah, I had a really great day, and ignore the cars. Yeah, I had a really great day today. you know, my dog, I took her to the vet, we went to the pet store, and I got her some really nice snacks, and let me tell you guys, she really enjoyed those, and I cannot wait until tomorrow because I have a pickleball lesson that I'm super excited for with one of the most prestigious teams in the county, and you're just going on and on and on, you're just talking. People are gonna get bored. I'm sorry. Y'all already know we live in a digital age, okay? You can't keep yapping like that at a table where people are expected to also contribute and expect them to pay attention to you, because those types of people lack social awareness. They do. It's true. I'm not hating on nobody, because again, I could use a bit more sometimes, contributing more, but like I said, I'm an observer, I like to listen. But you want to try your best to let others get a word in. So yeah, you don't want to be overly talking. I love this one, especially ladies, if you're on a date with a man for the first time, okay? Do not get overly drunk. Do not drink too much, okay? Because you will become vulnerable. You don't want to be in a vulnerable position where this man thinks he has the perfect prey, so to speak. You know, we're speaking first date sense. Like, you don't want to give off those type of vibrations. We don't want to give off vulnerable or naive. Like, that's not cool. And when that happens, when you're drunk, your inhibitions are released or lessened or loosened, and you're more likely to do things that you're going to regret the next day. So just, even if you have to order a mocktail or just a water to, you know, cutely have something to like sip on while you're talking, I'd rather you do that than to order like drinks as if you're fish in water, back to back to back, because it's not going to be a good look when you can't control yourself and then you regret it the next day, and then that person doesn't call you back, or that person doesn't want to hang out with you anymore because you're not just the drunk girl. Those two words should never even like relate to you. No, we're not having that. That's not cute and not classy, not mindful or demure. So the next one I have is avoid big gestures. Like, you know how, and this doesn't, I guess, really apply for men, maybe, I don't know, but you want to keep the gestures small. You want to kind of keep them concise, like kind of like how I'm doing now, consciously, because I'm thinking about it, like that. Like, if you want to emphasize something, go like this instead of going like this. Okay, you can. I'm just giving you tips. These are my advice. If it doesn't work for you, chew the meat and spit the bones out, baby. But little minute gestures when you're trying to emphasize something, even a little something like this, you know, a little cute little something like this, you're trying to show off a fresh set. But don't be going like this and all the neck movements. Keep those to a minimum when you're having a meal with someone. It's distracting. It can't concentrate on what you're saying if there's too much of big gestures, and it just like I said, it doesn't look good. Could you imagine being an observer at the other table and like looking at that woman who might be you or me, but now that we know these tips, that would never be us, and you're making all these big gestures and you're like, yeah, this happened and it was really cool, but secondhand embarrassment just from having to watch that interaction take place. Don't be that girl. Gestures to a minimum. The last thing I have written down, so I don't keep this video so this video is not like too long, is smile. It's okay to genuinely look like you're enjoying yourself, or genuinely give off the vibe that you're happy to be there. So, excuse me. This is something I struggle with as someone who is not the biggest like little cutesy smiler. This is literally my resting face. Like, which is not terribly threatening, I don't think. But let's say, you know, you do have a resting face. To combat that, just a little cute little smile, like, and then you'll start to actually feel that energy just from this sweet little smile. It will conjure up positivity that you didn't even know you had if you're feeling a little under the weather. So yeah, I think, oh my gosh, I'm watching this guy on the top of the apartment roof right now. The complex apart across from mine, and this is so cool. I would try to get it on camera, but he just went on the other side, so I don't think you guys will be able to see. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this helped. If you enjoyed, give it a like, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.